that's going. Now I gotta tune into my own page. Let's see if that's going. Okay, that's going. Good. Let me see if I can get in here. What's up, Greg Gold Coast? I am looking to see if I can get this working correctly. All right, there we go. Hey, YouTube land. How's it going? I'm looking. I have to check some different things tonight because Facebook has been deleted. For any of you out there who don't know, Facebook has been deleted. Good. We're up on that page now. That is working. I'm trying to get the chat to work on the page, so bear with me while I get the chat, trying to get the chat to work. It's a work in progress, guys. Didn't expect this to happen like this. People are jumping on. It looks like a lot of YouTube people. That's good. Hey there, South Carolina, Virginia Beach. What's happening? How is life? I'm watching my YouTube people come in and my Periscope people. So thank you for going to YouTube tonight to get this thing amped up. And then I have my network up over here and monitoring that now as well. So here we are. Yes, Facebook deleted all the accounts across the board. All the accounts up and then were deleted. So yes, that is what happened. And don't worry, it is what it is. We told you it was going to happen at some point. So that's what happened. All right. Yes. Let's see. We're working on the website. We're working on the chat function. The chat function says it's there, but they're working to get that moving. So if you're on the website right now and the chat is not working for you, then jump over to YouTube for tonight. There's only 3 places I'm on now. All Facebook accounts have been not just taken down, guys. I can't even log into Facebook. So my accounts have been completely deleted. All of my business accounts, I'm sorry, my business account 1 is open for the practice. The rest of them are all deleted. All of the brand pages, the group pages, my personal page, all deleted. I'm not able to get it. Okay. Guys, if you can't get the chat, if it's not working for you, then go to YouTube for the time being. I enabled it, but it is being special. All right. So if you want to chat tonight while I work on the chat function, go to YouTube for the time being. Okay. I am on Parler. I am on Gab. I am on BitChute. I am on Rumble, but those are building up. All right. And you can't live stream. You can't live stream on those yet. Okay. So we're working on all that. Bear with us, guys. Bear with us. All right. We knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know how fast it was going to happen. Okay. So the network site is being worked on. We're getting that to be worked on better. And so the chat function is coming. Whether it's there tonight or it's there in the future, it's coming. All right. Welcome, everybody. Dr. Jason Dean, Revolution Network, your source for health, freedom, and knowledge. So this is what happened. Everything, I was fine last night. This morning, I got up. Everything was fine. Went into the office, and I sat down to my laptop at probably 9:30, 9:45. And I went to go into Facebook. And when Facebook popped up, it said I needed to log in. Now, if your Facebook is like mine, I didn't log out of my Facebook. I just closed out the window. So it would just pop up automatically when I went into it. I shouldn't need to log in. All right. So I did log in. And as soon as I logged in, it said accounts disabled. all accounts gone. So I got up, I went to my wife's phone, I searched my wife's phone for my name. My name wouldn't even come up, guys. Like there's no, I don't know what yours does, but on mine, there is nothing, nil, zilch. All right. So I am not going to be building another personal Facebook page that I know of now. I'm not going to say never, but I don't have plans to do that. Why? Facebook is a mess. Now, will I probably create an account to get another business page going? Possibly. But I am not going after a new Facebook page. Why? Because one, I'm probably on a list now, and two, it's going to be very, very challenging to gain any momentum on there. And I'd rather put the energy into YouTube for as long as that lasts and right to the network site. That's what I would rather do. So don't expect my Facebook page to pop up because I'm probably not going to end up doing that. All right. There you go. Now, why? I don't know. They don't give information. They don't give details on why they would do that. They have no idea. They just said that it's gone. So this is my two thoughts on it. My initial thought is they're kind of like the government and the IRS and tax organizations and stuff like that, and the fact that they might be way behind and they just finally got around to my account, noticed I was preaching positivity, America, patriotism, etc., and they just swiped it finally. Or my real thought and opinion is the last two nights, the last two shows, I have a feeling sent them over the edge. So if you don't know, on Tuesday night, I had Dr. Mike Reed on. We spoke about symbolism in companies, and then we went into the Orion lines, which was very, very deep, a little bit dark, and how this whole show works, right? And then last night, I had Jason on, and we went down some other deep roads, and we went down into the crystal forests and crystal trees, and and then we finished off, by the way, with the story of David and Goliath, and we both kind of came to the conclusion that David and Goliath is probably the story of David defeating the giant. And the giants are most likely in Afghanistan still, and the giants are the Nephilim from the Bible. Okay, so I'm actually going for that kind of thing. Okay, now keep in mind, YouTube is a little bit more liberal with what they allow on it. Facebook, not so much. That's why I think I'm still on YouTube. Now, if YouTube goes down, I may start up another YouTube page. I don't know. But right now, I'm going to put my focus and my attention on strictly the network. And I'm going to let a cat out of the bag. It is not done yet. But I have decided that there will be a new brand and direction, same great content, but I'm bringing a bunch of people that I know who are really good at what they do, a bunch of friends who have their own stuff, and I'm going to bring them in. And Revolution Network will be a show on most likely something called Brave TV. Now, I'm going to put out a little survey on how you like Brave TV, but Brave TV could be or is going to be the very big future for this. Why? Because we are brave. Noble Patriots, you are brave. And by the way, the Noble Patriots brand is not going away. Revolution Network is not going away. But Revolution Network is probably going to be its own show. I will probably also have a health only related show. All right. And then I will probably have a business related show. And then I'll have a bunch of friends and colleagues and other people who have their own shows, as well as we might be guests on each other's show. Because as brave patriots and Americans, that's where we're going. So be on the lookout for Brave TV, which Revolution Network will be a part of Brave TV. So that is where we're going, because at the end of the day, you're brave, I'm brave, Patriots are brave, America is brave, business owners are brave, entrepreneurs are brave, veterans are brave. That's how it is. All right? Good, guys. Keep it up there. And by the way, some people are saying there's some buffering. We're working through all that. So hang with it, okay? This is welcome to the growth phases. We're working through it all. All right? Good. Let's dive in. How does that sound? Sound good? Let's go. Let's fire it up. Let me show you some, you know what? Let me show you some other brave people. Here's some brave people.
So I'm parked out front of this house before I'm waiting for a client to get there. I gotta show them this house, just minding my own business. And and someone starts honking at me, right? And I look over, and it's a cop, and an undercover unmarked car. He was in like a white Charger or something like that, and I have a blue line flag, a decal on the back of my Jeep. So he starts honking, and he rolls down his window, and we started talking about Trump and the election, and all the madness that's going on in the world. And he said, "Keep it up, kid." He said, "Keep it up, kid." He goes, "People like you are making a difference in this world." 5 years ago, I was an active heroin addict, and I'm running from every cop and undercover and and hating my life and who I was, and I just had a cop say, "Keep it up, kid. People like you are making a difference in this world." Crying. That's not something to be grateful for.
So, folks, that was from Dr. Q, by the way. We are making a difference in the world. That's all that story was about. She was a former heroin addict who is now helping people, and she is promoting patriotism. She is promoting supporting law enforcement, and she making a difference. We are in the rebirth of America. That's what we're in. And by the way, Brave TV is not published yet. It is not out there. The network will be there. It's being built right now, okay? Being built by extraordinary individuals. So if you're going to look for it right now, you're not going to find it. It's going to be launched. I'm launching it soon, launching it fast. You will have Revolution Network for now, and then when Brave TV is launched, Revolution Network will be a show within inside of Brave TV, okay? Excellent. Now that we've experienced the bright and sunshiny stuff, let's go to the snowflakes. Here is a snowflake. Enjoy this.
Hello to all of the conservatives out there and everybody else. Do you know what I think of when I hear the word socialism? I think about a potluck. There is nothing more southern and country than a motherfucking potluck. Everybody brings food and everybody eats. You don't have to cook for 50 people, but you help feed 50 people, And then those who can't those who can't bring food, they can still eat, They can contribute in other ways, like bringing napkins or drinks or setting the table or doing the dishes, I think we should all think about it that way, instead of looking at it like capitalism, where no matter what crap job you're doing on the lower end, you make the same shit minimum wage that you can barely get by off of.
my God.
With a potluck, everybody eats plenty.
Ah, that's it. That's it. Did you know? Did you know that it's as simple as that? Did you know it's as simple as being a potluck? It's like a potluck. It's where everyone eats. Um, since I'm not on Facebook anymore and anything like that, I guess I can bring. I guess I can loosen the language when I need to. It's just like potluck. Yeah, socialism. So when everyone's poor, and socialism and eating animals and dog crap off the sidewalk, um, at least everyone gets to eat, right? It's just like a potluck dinner. And by the way, if you're too poor because you didn't get off your ass to work, that's all right. You can just do some dishes and you can eat everybody else's food. That's how it works. That is Marxists. That is I have no I have nothing. I don't even have anything for you on that one. That's so insane. Here we go. Let's go listen to some reason and intelligence now.
You mentioned the CIA today. I heard you during a radio appearance. You want the CIA director fired. It seemed a little bit off topic and off message, but what's the tie-in, if you don't mind?
The tie-in is that there's no way these programs could have been run around the world to affect elections without the CIA. We also have had people disclose to us the whole hammer program that was created for the CIA and scorecard, which is essentially the same thing. It seems like every country has used something like this to do what it wants to do. Supposedly ours was invented to influence foreign elections, but that too could have been turned on this election. It's all part of the same part and parcel of government interference in elections to make choices against the will of the people. And the will of the people in this country was that Donald Trump win in a landslide. If we can get to the bottom of it, and I am determined to do that, I think we'll find he had at least 80 million votes. The only reason the glitches happened in the system was because he had so far many more votes than they had calculated in advance. Their algorithms wouldn't perform the functions they'd originally performed or were set to perform. They couldn't make up the vote count. He had gotten so many hundreds of thousands more than they planned. So that's when they had to stop the counting and come up with a way to backfill the votes or destroy votes for Trump while they fabricated votes for Biden.
Listen to that. Reason and intelligence, because it's a highly intelligent woman. Let me back that up with some more words from today. Now, today was the presser. Giuliani, Sidney Powell, Jenna Ellis. By the way, I put out a Twitter post today, and I didn't put out a Facebook post because the bastards deleted me. And by the way, for anyone who's joining a little late, I have been nuked and deleted from Facebook completely. For the record, I had my personal page deleted. Now, luckily, I've always had everything backed up. I have all my own videos. I have my own cloud here at the office. I have, or at the house. I have my videos, my pictures, my everything else. The posts I could care less about, whatever. Personal Facebook deleted. The Revolution Network Facebook page deleted. My Dr. Jason Dean Facebook page deleted. My Noble Patriot group of 10,000 people deleted. I had a carnivore group deleted. My ad accounts, I had 4 ad accounts deleted. Gone. All right. So that's why you will not see me on Facebook tonight, because it's gone, and I'm not going back to Facebook. When Brave TV comes out, you'll probably see some of that, because I can keep that very vanilla, and I can put ads out there. But I will not be. And let me tell you, let me explain some freedom to you. Let me explain some freedom. It was actually freeing to disconnect and lose Facebook. And I will tell you, immediately afterwards, I held down the little icon on my iPhone to the Facebook icon and I hit delete. My Messenger, gone. No access to Messenger. Deleted that app too. And guess what? It was freeing. Now, I love social media. I love being in contact with my people, noble patriots, colleagues, friends, family. But being disconnected from it doesn't hurt my feelings. It actually allows me to have more time to what I'm going to use the time for. Obviously, there's Parler and Mayway and all that stuff, and I'll be on them, but I'm not going to be on them like I was Facebook. It allows me to research more, study more, spend more time with my family, and then quite honestly, guess who wins? My family wins, my practice wins, my businesses win, and you guys win because it literally just means I get to put more content, more time into building you guys up, building this movement up, building the network up, building up the new Brave TV, like this, that, like I like technology, but it's nice just to talk with people and then to come to you guys. Like you guys are family, right? It is nice to just come to the family at night as the family grows and just spend quality time, give value, and promote American values and American people like all of you. So that's what I get to do with my time now. That's what I lose in Facebook is I gain more with you guys. So here is more Sidney Powell.
Being in office were allowed to rig their elections. This is stunning, heartbreaking, infuriating, and the most unpatriotic acts I can even imagine for people in this country to have participated in any way, shape, or form. And I want the American public to know right now that we will not be intimidated. American patriots are fed up with the corruption from the local level to the highest level of our government, and we are going to take this country back. We are not going to be intimidated. We are not going to back down. We are going to clean this mess up now. President Trump won by a landslide. We are going to prove it, and we are going to reclaim the United States of America for the people who vote for freedom.
She's pissed. I can tell you that much right now. And I would go as far as to say this: if not that I am going to do this, but if I had to, I would run coffee errands for that woman. She is freaking phenomenal. Like, can I fetch coffee for you, Ms. Powell? Because just keep working. You are a freaking rock star. Now, would you like to hear what the internet pros are saying? Yeah, Jenna Ellis was totally just smiling behind her. Jenna Ellis, by the way, is a rock star. Jenna Ellis is just sitting back there getting the greatest apprenticeship of her entire life as she watches Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell destroy barriers in front of them. You gotta be happy for Jenna Ellis, who is getting the education of a lifetime. Now, here is a former CEO of Overstock who knows a little bit about technology. Check this out.
Thank you for having me on. Please call me Patrick. I'm connected. Besides that e-commerce thing was just something I did. I did other things. I took on Wall Street 15 years ago. People who know my story know about that. That's not what's important. What's important is your viewers understand the election was hacked, and this story will answer that question. This election was hacked. The outcome has been rigged. I did not vote for Trump. I'm a libertarian, small L libertarian, never voted Republican or Democrat for president in my life. I'm saying this election was rigged. I'm a CEO who built a $2 billion tech company. I don't mean to sound like I'm beating my chest. I was National Entrepreneur of the Year, you go back a decade, for building a $2 billion tech company, Overstock. I know what I'm talking about. I'm also a PhD from Stanford. I'm a Marshall Scholar and such. I'm putting all that credibility on the line. This election was hacked. The outcome was rigged and should be completely ignored or discounted. I mean, through the court system. The courts should throw it out.
Right. So you sound like Trump's.
How I know this.
Right. You sound like Trump's legal team right now. So we're all on the same page. You sound like what their claims are as well. And clearly, you have the experience and the expertise in regards to maybe shedding some light on how you know that to be true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's how I know that. I'm backing. I have the data, incidentally. I have the data, the electronics, everything. I've been backing and supporting some cybersecurity experts in a number of different groups. And this how that came about. In 2018, the Dallas election had irregularities. The Texas state government hired a elite cybersecurity company to go in and study what had happened in 2018. And they reverse engineered it. And when you reverse engineer something, that's when you take the final product and you get a bunch of people to study it, and they unscreen, they break it apart, and they figure out how you build it so they can go copy it. These guys reverse engineered the 2018 Dallas irregularities, which turned out to be a hack. Dominion ran it. It was the Dominion's technology that ran it.
So he just stated, not only did he have guys that were able to reverse engineer what happened and hack it, but he also named Dominion again. So these tech guys know, and he's an overstock tech guy. He's a small L libertarian, which means he's a good dude. That's kind of what I partially am, is a small L libertarian. The difference between big L and small L: big L libertarian is very corporate, and it's not really libertarian. Small L libertarian is very much Rand Paul, Ron Paul, Mises Institute, etc. That's more my school of thought. I fit in. I'm a very small L libertarian, constitutionalist, if you want to say. I'm on the red ticket because that's the closest I can get to that from a voting standpoint, and I want to be in the primaries. I want to vote in the primaries, but same mentality as the CEO Overstock. So he and I would probably align on a lot of values. So there you go. Now, speaking of values, can I show you something that you guys have maybe never seen? I don't know. Maybe you have. It was on Twitter. I'd never seen it before. How about 30 seconds of Justin Trudeau before he was Justin Trudeau? And let's hear what he has to say.
Is there anything you've learned from the experiences that both your parents have gone through?
But nothing I should talk about on camera, I think.
Ah, the politician already? No.
Never. I'm going to be a teacher. I don't like politics. I don't like the personal cost. Having a family for me, having kids, is one of the absolute priorities and will be the center of my.
Little Justin Trudeau saying he could not say things about his family on camera, and then on top of that saying he wanted yes, I know he's a little Castro, I get it, most likely, but then saying he wanted nothing to do with politics, yet he's pushing the Great Reset in Canada. Now, I'm going to show you another clip here that's a little bit longer. Stay with this one. You're going to love this guy, New York. I have two clips back to back of this gentleman, and I want you to hear how much of an idiot he is. Meaning, he has no clue what he's talking about. Listen to how a politician spins his words and never actually gives you reality. Here we go. There's two clips. The first one is recent. The next one after that is from many months ago. And just listen how they spin their words because they're lying.
Clear about New York City schools. The other day you said this is the city's decision. They have an agreement at 3%. Today you said, well, I might have to impose an orange zone and I might have to close the schools, which an orange zone does. So what's going on? Does the city still have the ability to close its schools? Are you now taking control and saying that you have the power to make this decision? And for the millions of parents who want to know, are the schools going to open tomorrow in New York City?
All right. First of all, let's try not to be obnoxious and offensive in your tone, because you're 100% wrong. These laws have all been in effect for months. I've always said we set initial parameters, and then the school district picked a percent within those parameters. New York City picked 3%. We announced the orange zone law over a month ago. I don't know if you were here or if you were paying attention, but that has been in effect for over a month. It always said, if by the state's numbers you hit 3%, the schools close. What's going on here is nothing that the law hasn't said for over a month. We then had the test out procedures. If you were paying attention, you would have known we closed the schools in New York City 2 weeks ago. Remember when we did an orange zone and a red zone in Brooklyn?
I have to interject before we go on. It's after 10 o'clock. I'm going to swear. Earmuffs, children. He's such a condescending asshole. And he doesn't even know what he's talking about. But let's go farther because it gets even better.
Brooklyn and Queens, and we closed the schools? Don't you remember that?
It was 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're now going to override. We did it already. That's the law, an orange zone and a red zone. Follow the facts.
I'm still confused.
Well, then you're confused.
I'm confused, and
then I'll tell you what, Jimmy.
Parents are still confused as well. The schools in New
they're
York
not
City
confused.
tomorrow.
You're confused.
He's such
Read
an
the
ass.
law.
Confused as well.
Read the law, and you won't be confused.
But Governor,
Go ahead.
following Jimmy's question, are the schools going to be open tomorrow?
The schools are open by state law.
But will they be open tomorrow? That's the question. I think Jimmy's correct in asking that question. I don't think it's obnoxious at all.
Well, I don't really care what you think. Of course, you agree with him because you're in the same business with him. The schools, by state law, well, what is the answer to your question? What is the answer to your question?
I don't know what the answer is.
Yes, you do.
You said
When does the state close the schools?
When you get to an orange zone, which you're suggesting could happen, but is not necessarily happening by tomorrow.
So then what are you asking? You just answered your own question.
the other week you said.
Excuse me.
But on one hand, you have granted Bill de Blasio the kind of oversight of his schools, and there are rumors that the number in New York City will rise above 3%, which would trigger closing of schools. Now, you have just said that an orange zone could be in the offering for the entirety of New York City, which would also close schools, but your number is 2.5. So I guess just the point blank question is, are schools going to be open tomorrow in New York
Let's
City?
do it again for you. Because maybe gets confusing over the days and nights.
I'm enjoying the comedy of this.
Schools set their own, 700 school districts. They all set their own number. That's the number. Unless they fall into a microcluster. The
microclusters
overrides the local rules. Yellow, orange, red. If it's Buffalo, I don't even know the Buffalo closing number for schools. But the Buffalo schools close in that orange zone, right? Why? Because it's an orange zone and it's over 3%. Well, maybe Buffalo had a rule of 4% or 5% or 6%. I don't know, doesn't matter. If it goes over 3% in an orange zone, because now it's saying the decision isn't just about a school, it's about a school in an intensely infected community with a family that's infected and a candy store that has a high infection rate.
A candy store.
On a bus route that has a high infection rate. So the microclusters override the normal locally set school infection rate.
Why didn't you close the schools in
Right?
Erie County
Excuse
last
me.
week? You were over 3%.
Excuse me, right?
I understand the state law overrides the city's decision-making on this.
And no, not city. Any local school district, so it just happened in Buffalo, any local school district in a microcluster zone, because that's now a highly
I think the sign language guy was actually laughing or chuckling at some point.
schools can remain open in an orange zone.
We're still on orange zones.
But they have to do additional testing.
Understood. On a larger point, when you're talking about microclusters, those are obviously supposed to be kind of limited geographic areas. New York City is obviously not a limited geographic area, nor is it a limited population center. How would that qualify as a microcluster? Why is that not just a regional
Microcluster is not spatially defined.
It's not spatially defined.
Microcluster was as opposed to statewide action or regional action.
But is that not a region, New York City, with 9
No,
million people in it?
Long Island and Westchester would be within the region. So microcluster was,
He doesn't
I guess you're talking
know
about the connotation of micro.
what the hell he's even talking about.
One of those regions is New York City. So if you're going to shut New York City down to an extent with lesser restrictions under an orange zone, that is by ipso facto a regional shutdown, is it
Well,
not?
yeah, but the micro is to distinguish from statewide or normally region-wide. So Erie is not, we're not doing all
I don't
of
think you
Western New
understand
York. It's a
microclusters,
micro
people.
zone. We're
I
not
think
doing Chautauqua,
we need
we're
to
not doing
have
Cataract.
a lesson so that you understand microclusters. If you don't understand microclusters, there's no point, folks. You need to understand
I'm a little unclear about New York City schools.
That's what you
The
need
other
to
day-
understand. Microclusters. How do you not understand microclusters? Now, I had another one of him, but I think I lost it, and I really, really, really would love for you to see it because it was pretty tremendous, honestly. So as I scroll really quickly here, again, you need to understand microclusters. Now, this is March. Okay, this is March 19th, 2020. You just watched that, okay? Watch this.
We are fighting a war on two fronts. We're fighting the virus and we're fighting fear. And they are two totally different situations that you have to deal with. In many ways, the fear is more dangerous than the virus. I started working on disasters, emergency situations when I was in my 30s. My first experience was Hurricane Andrew in Homestead, Florida. And I felt it. I saw on the ground what happens when people panic. And the panic and the fear is as dangerous or more dangerous than the hurricane. I've seen it in floods. I've seen it in fires. We now have misinformation and fear and panic, which is as contagious or more contagious than the virus. And we have to deal with both of them. I've had some conversations that are just irrational with people who heretofore were wholly rational. I had a conversation last night with a business person from New York City who I know, who was panicked that New York City was going to be locked down, that there were going to be roadblocks, that there were going to be mandatory quarantine. He was going to be imprisoned in this house. And I said, where did you hear that? Well, that's what they say. That's what I'm hearing. They're saying. And I was saying, look, I would know, right? Because I would have to authorize those actions legally. It's not going to happen. Well, I hear it is going to happen. I said, but I know, but I would have to do it. And I'm telling you, I'm not doing it. It must have taken me 25 minutes just to slow him down to hear the information.
So wait a second. What is he? I actually don't even understand what he was doing. I don't know. This is. And by the way, he has approved himself another $25,000 raise. So what is he making now, New Yorker? What is it? I don't know. I haven't looked it up. I don't care. What does he make? 150K, 175K, 200K, $250,000. What's he make per year to do that? And if you think these guys are behind the scenes actually doing work, I think the most that they do is maybe read something, talk to their lawyers, and make a decision. Like, this isn't now, California, you may be laughing. California, go ahead and laugh. You might think, California, that New York is stupider and that they have a dumber governor. But then I give you Exhibit B, Gavin Newsom.
That a few weeks ago, I was asked to go to a friend's 50th birthday. My wife and I, a friend that I've known for almost 20 years, and a friend that had put a lot of time and energy into his 50th birthday. It was in Napa, which was in the orange status, relatively loose compared to some other
freaking
counties.
love the orange.
It was to be an outdoor restaurant, and we started the program started at 4 o'clock. It was one of those early reservations. I got there a little bit late at 4:30. And as soon as I sat down at the larger table, I realized it was a little larger group than I had anticipated. And I made a bad mistake. Instead of sitting down, I should have stood up and walked back, got in my car, and drove back to my house. Instead, I chose to sit there with my wife and a number of other couples that were outside the household. And you can quibble about the guidelines, et cetera, but the spirit of what I'm preaching all the time was contradicted, and I got to own that. And so I want to apologize to you because I need to preach and practice, not just preach and not practice. And I've done my best to do that. We're all human. We all fall short sometimes. We've been out, and I think for 3 times since, in fact, I know it's been 3 times because I remember all of those dinners very, very vividly since February, just 3 times. Twice with my wife, by myself, outdoors, and then this one occasion with a larger group. And there were just a few extra people there than the spirit of what I am promoting. And so if we're going to minimize mixing, you got to own up to that. So I just want folks to know that. Paid for our dinner, and we had an early dinner, but didn't matter. I shouldn't have been there. I should have turned back around. And so when that happens, you pay the price, but you also own the mistake, and you don't ever make it again. And you have my word on that.
Oh my God. The blinking, the perfect smile with the stupid looking teeth thing. Like, yeah, another asshole. You got it. That's right. How do these people get picked? Oh, that's right. They're selected. And then, hold on. Don't worry. We're ending on a positive note tonight. Don't worry. Here you go. Look at this. Here we go. Oh, it's the best.
Thirdly,
We discussed the need to help states with Title 32 funding for the National Guard. That's a fancy way of saying governors need to be able to get funding when they need to bring their National Guard into play. And National Guards are going to have to play this. It costs a lot of money.
Oh, this is your elected officials. These are your elected officials. I just want you to know that. This is who you have, California and New York. This is who you have. Now, let me teach you really quickly how to ignore the press. This is how you do it.
Thank you. Are you really not going to take elections? All of you need to answer this.
Why is the federal
What is going on? And you're not working with the transition. You're all part of not recognizing democracy. You're all undermining the democratic election. Every one of you.
Why is the federal
And you won't work with the transition.
That's how you handle the press. That's how you handle the demonic, insane press. Just so you know. And what do you do with that? What do you do? How do you celebrate? How do you celebrate the press being dissed like that? This is how you celebrate it. That's how you celebrate it. Now, I have a couple more to show you before I take you into an amazing piece of health information tonight. Who wants some amazing, mind-blowing health stories? I'm going to bring that to you right after I show you these next few videos. First of all, are the Patriots in control? Here is one of the newest members of Special Intelligence. Let me, and listen very carefully to his words and listen to who he talks about.
Today, the Department of Defense has started the process of formalizing what we have long known, the fundamental role of U.S. Special Operations in defense and foreign policy by elevating Special Operations forces to a level on par with military departments as authorized and directed by Congress. As we enact these reforms, we follow the vision of President John F. Kennedy, who predicted the rise of special operations nearly 60 years ago. He foresaw, quote, another type of war, new in its intensity, ancient in its origin, that would require a whole new kind of strategy, a wholly different kind of force, forces which are too unconventional to be called conventional forces, which are growing in number and importance and significance. President Kennedy gave these remarks at the opening of the nuclear age, when the Pentagon was primarily organized to plan and direct large conventional operations against superpowers, not special operations short of overt declared conflict. The global demands for special operations forces then and now has confirmed President Kennedy's foresight. And now, under the leadership of President Trump, we are fully realizing President Kennedy's prescient view of Special Operations Forces. It is fitting that we are again entering an era of great power competition as we gather to affirm the importance of the Special Operations community. Then as now, I know Special Operations Forces will play a vital role, and by the historic reforms we have enacted today, we will ensure Special Operations Forces has a civilian advocate commensurate to the secretaries of the other military departments. I am honored to serve as your service secretary. Thank you very much.
Business just picked up. That is Ezra. Go look up Ezra. And then listen to this, because this is important.
Here in the United States, we are alarmed by the new calls to adopt socialism in our country. America was founded on liberty and independence, and not government coercion, domination, and control. We are born free, and we will stay free. Tonight, we renew our resolve that America will never be a socialist country.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, I have one little special thing for you before I take you down the health road, and I have a good health one tonight. You guys want to know why people have some chronic health issues? I'm going to tell you about 2 cases tonight. 2 cases that will blow your mind and will give you solutions how those can be handled. But first, enjoy the show.
Be a smooth transition to a second Trump administration.
It will be a smooth transition into the second Trump administration. I can tell you right now, guys, you can suppress the Patriots, you can push them down, you can knock them off Facebook, you can knock them off Twitter, you can delete their damn accounts. You can do whatever they want. But I will tell you, as the president said many times before, if America falls, the entire world falls. They are entering into a storm of which you cannot fathom. I would not want to be on the receiving end of bombs from people like Rudy Giuliani, Jenna Ellis, Lynn Wood, and friggin' Sidney Powell. Because they will bring the pain unlike you've ever seen the pain before. And trust me, there's ups and downs in this battle. There's ups and downs in the war. It can be scary at times when they talk about vaccines. They talk about artificial intelligence. They talk about the World Economic Forum, the Great Reset. It gets scary as hell a lot of times. But let me give you this. You have an American military that stands up for the country. And on top of that, they never thought she would lose, and they didn't take the Second Amendment. So, these days and nights that you can get nervous, you're talking about hundreds of millions of Americans that are equipped with firearms and some of the craziest damn weapons you've ever seen. And if you go to try to buy ammunition right now, good luck. It's gone. There is more ammunition and firearms in this country in responsible Patriots possessions than you could ever imagine. So, if they come for us, there will be a firefight. Not that I want one. I don't. Patriots don't want one. But there will be one, unlike anything they have ever seen before. And I will tell you, Patriots don't just give up guns. Therefore, wait, be ready, prepare, because this is going to be a tumultuous, turbulent next 6 weeks. Just be ready, but trust. Now, I say trust in a plan. You can do whatever you want, but have faith, believe, listen into the show, follow your fellow Patriots, and just think positive, good vibes. We're going to be fine. Now, health related. Let me bring up a topic that is a lot of people are dealing with, and this is actually neurological in topic. I've had two of these, two different cases, but similar problem. I have told many people in the past, I do muscle testing. I have protocols, as you can see down here, patriotnutrition.com for a parasite protocol, but then you can also work directly with me. This is what I've dealt with in the last couple weeks, two specific cases. One, a massive head injury, concussion, PTSD, right? The doctors sent them home with medication and a head injury. Head injuries, you need to handle the problem, you need to handle the structural issue, and you need to rebuild the brain, which I have had amazing results with. I don't know if there's anybody out there who has dealt with nutritional concussion injuries like my wife, myself, in our office. I've taken young people in sports and I've taken older people who've had brain traumatic injuries down to things like epilepsy, seizures, etc. And we're able to turn those around using nutritional work and chiropractic. I'm going to do the same thing with this one patient who literally has parasites growing in the brain because of a traumatic brain injury before. And nobody in the medical field can tell them what to do or how to handle it. We're going to kill the parasites. We're going to build the brain up. Now, here's another one. And this person might be listening, might be not listening, might be watching, might not be watching. I'm going to talk to them soon. But something mind-blowing. Now, how many people out there deal with TMJ issues, jaw issues, teeth issues, and then on top of that, grinding of teeth? All right? Grinding of teeth. To the point, I've had 2 people in the last week that they've literally grind their teeth down to even level because of how much grinding they're doing. This is all through muscle testing that I do in my office and long distance. Grinding the teeth down. This person has spent, I don't know the number, somewhere between $10,000 and $30,000 in dental work, right? In dental work to try to get their jaw corrected. And the dentist said, we need more dental work. We got to get your jaw even. This person, very frustrated with the process, very aggravated. And I said, work with me. It's gonna take some time, but we'll get there. A couple months in, the jaw is becoming more of a problem. I went to retest. This is where it gets crazy and why my method of testing always finds the problem, and then we can get the solution from there. Here you go. I'm going to blow your mind. The jaw was not testing. Even though this person is having pain in the jaw. Their teeth are getting filed down literally, and it's not working. So, I went back around. I'm checking every area of the body, and there's nothing there. The body sometimes will lie. Not because it's trying to lie. It's trying to give you a deeper answer. So, in my box of tricks, I have frequencies of organs, like physical, like body organs. I did not believe that the person's body was okay when it had pain and you're having major dental work done. Something is going on. We're missing something. I need to know what it is. So I took out frequencies that amplify the energy of an organ. So like I can test the heart, right? And say someone's having a heart attack, just random example. Say someone's having heart problems and you test their heart and it tests strong with a muscle test. Okay, but clinically, I say, wait a second. It's not working. What's going on? It's not testing. There's something there. The heart can't be a problem and not be testing. Something's going on. So I have test kits. I have organ test kits that will actually amplify the energy of that said organ. Sometimes the energy of an organ can shrink down so much that it won't test. So I took out my amplification vials, right? And I tested in the back of the head and the jaw. The jaw did not show. The back of the head did. The neck, right around C1, C2 atlas axis area. It tested, okay, but I don't know which one it is. Now I got to go find out which one it is. I found the exact vial that tested for the back area near the hairline, right, in the atlas axis area of the spine. This will blow your mind. It was hair follicles. Like, lost my hat. I don't have a lot of hair, but it was hair follicles that were testing in the back of the head near the cerebellum, the atlas axis, which connects into the jaw. It's at the jawline, right? It's in the middle of the brain. It tested for follicles. Okay, why? Then I took the follicle vial and I tested to find out why it was weak. Parasites. It took 3 different parasitic remedies to find out there was parasites in the follicles of the scalp that were connecting to the atlas axis, right? And the jaw. So therefore, finding out this person doesn't need major jaw restructuring or teeth restructuring, we have to get rid of the parasites in the back of the skull that are throwing off the entire jawline. So all I'm going to do, keep in mind, no one has been able to figure this out for this person. This person has spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars for no answers, or I should say no solutions. And then I find parasites next to the jaw, which is throwing off the entire jaw and making grind your teeth. If you have teeth grinding, headaches, etc., look for the parasites, look for the source. It could be other than just parasites. Handle it and then regenerate the tissue. We use whole food, herbal nutrition. That's the parasite protocol. That's actually, if you want to work with me directly, you can. noblepatriothealth.com. I help people from all over the world, as far as UK, Australia, you name it, all the states. If you're not testing the energetics of a person, you're not going to find the right answers. Mainstream medicine has failed everybody. There are so many people like that are sent home from every major hospital, every major doctor, tons of medications with no answer to the problem, or just medications, and not finding it. And then we get a hold of them. I get a hold of them. I find the actual solution. We remove the source, the toxin, and you build up the organ systems. I know that sounds too simple. That sounds too crazy. Actually, it's not that difficult. The real problem is you've been indoctrinated by a public education system. You've been indoctrinated by a mockingbird media. You've been indoctrinated by a pharmaceutical industry. You've been indoctrinated by a stolen government. If you listen to those sources of information all day long, you will not believe in the body's ability to heal. When you extract yourself out of that said matrix, you will again be restored to what your body, your mind, your being is capable of, which is actually healing. That simple. We see stuff like that all the time. All right, guys. This is what we're going to do. I have to reorganize some stuff on my back end. So if you have questions, message us as best you can. Actually, let's do this. I know I'm going to regret this. But if you have any questions regarding health or want help, since Facebook is down, I'm going to do this one time until I find a better solution for you. You can email questions@drjasondean.com. questions@drjasondean.com. You can go to, if you want help directly, noblepatriothealth.com, and we will get you handled. I'm going to do this until I get a better solution because of Facebook being down, because you used to be able to message me. What we're going to do is I'll set something up to the actual site. We'll get that done. But until then, there you go. Guys, I hope you have a wonderful night. I'm going to go get some work done on all the things I need to fix now. And we'll go from there. All right? You guys have an amazing evening. As always, tomorrow, this weekend, go out, serve, and help your fellow man. Dr. Jason D, Revolution Network. Be well. Love you all.